should be live, hopefully. Crossing my fingers. Yeah, alright. Yeah, it always says that. It says the last week's until it kind of settles in, so. Alright. Awesome, everybody's jumping on live. Give it just a minute here. Let some people jump on. So, as most of you know now, we are going to live presentations only, so please refrain from staying or coming into the training room to do our presentations. We'll do them live. Again, to get credit for it live, you need to submit it by 7 p.m., have that timestamp on it for 7 p.m. To get that live credit for it. That, I think, should be good for our little entrance. And today we're going to talk about elevated work. This includes ladders or your stairs, your catwalks, any fixed ladders or things like that. OSHA estimates over 25,000 people die every year due to incidents with ladders specifically. So again, this is why we talk about these kinds of things, to prevent those kinds of injuries and accidents from happening. Elevated work, so anytime you're working at an elevation, makes sense, requires the use of walking working surfaces like ladders, scaffolds, and stairways. We don't really do anything with scaffolds, but we're going to talk about those ladders and stairways at least. So ladders are designed primarily to provide access to an elevated area, not to be used as an actual working surface, unless the job can be performed with one hand. So if you go up and you have your 3 points of contact, you're standing with 2 feet down and a hand on the ladder still, and then you're doing your work with one hand, you can use it as that. But if not, if it requires 2 hands, it is primarily to get up to that next working elevated area. They do need to be constructed according to OSHA standards, so you need to make sure that they are. Make sure you inspect a ladder before each use. You need to inspect the footing to make sure it's cleared, so where that feet are actually setting on the ground. The rungs or steps, that they're sturdy and not broken or missing. Don't just skip over broken or missing rungs or steps. Make sure that they are in good working condition. The sides of the rails, there's no catches or anything on those, and the hinges and spreaders, that they aren't broken or missing. We have 2 types of ladders. So we have a portable ladder. That's typically what we use all over the place. You move it around, you set it up. That can either be the ones that extend and sit along the wall at an angle, or the ones, that are like a teepee. And we also have fixed ladders that are mounted in a certain position to gain access up. So portable ladders are often damaged in transport from location to location, and fixed ladders are exposed to weather and chemicals that can lead to damage. So if you inspect a ladder and find something is wrong or damaged, you need to put a warning device on it right away, report it to your supervisor right away, and then take it out of service until it is repaired. Setting up ladders, you primarily need to get authorization before performing any elevated work. You need to make sure the, again, footing area is clear, there's no excess tools, debris, waste, or anything there. It needs to be placed on a firm, level surface. You cannot use other things to elevate a ladder, so like buckets or anything like that. You can't do that. You want to make sure the legs are fully open and locked out. Use any PPE you might need, like fall protection, which we'll kind of talk about what that looks like for ladders. And secure all your tools and equipment properly. You can carry tools in your pockets or in a tool belt securely, but any other types of tools need to... How do you carry tools up if you don't have 3 points of contact? Austin?
Carefully.
No. I mean, yes, but if you are climbing up a ladder and you have a bulky tool, how are you supposed to get that tool to the top to your next workspace?
Sit down, climb,
That's not a bad idea. But typically also tie it to a rope, get up to your top next workspace, and then pull it up the rope. We'll put it in the bucket, pull up the bucket with the rope. Because again, you need...
do that because we don't have the right to do that.
Right, that's typically... You aren't supposed to be on a vertical ladder anyways, so... So yes, that is because we need those 3 points of contact when you're going up those ladders. So again, we have portable ladders. Things to know about these. Again, make sure you don't overreach. You can tip the ladder over. So if you're standing on the ladder and you're overreaching too far one way, you can knock that ladder over with your weight. Make sure your belt buckle never passes the side rails. You want to keep that center of gravity on the ladder. And no more than one person on a ladder at a time. Side note, don't use metal ladders when electrical hazards are present. And when transporting them, be aware of overhead power lines and exposed electrical hazards. A friend of mine, not in a ladder scenario, but just kind of in terms of metal tools and overhead power lines, he was smoothing concrete out with one of those like 10-foot metal poles, and hit a power line behind him with that 10-foot pole and killed him immediately. So same things can happen with any other type of metal that you are grounded to. So be aware of that when you're transporting those. Step ladders are used to perform work at lower levels or when there's no strong upper support to lean a ladder against. These can be as short as those 2-step TP ladders up to, the ones that extend up. I don't know how big they get, but what's the biggest ladder you can get? Like 18 foot or something like that? Okay. So that's an extension ladder. These are usually used to gain access to a higher level, not specifically to stand on or work on. The ladder needs to have a 4-to-1 slope, so for every 4 feet of rise, the base of the ladder needs to be 1 foot away from the support. So I'm going to draw that nice little example here for you. So if this is your support, like a building of some sort, then you have your ladder here, every 4 feet up. So if this is a 4-foot wall, you need to have 1 foot out, okay? On top of that, your ladder also needs to extend 3 feet. This is not to scale, past your upper level. So if this is an 8-foot wall, then you need to have this 2 feet out. Okay, and yet you still need to have, no matter what, 3 feet above your next level that you're going to. Once it's up there, you also need to tie it off to make sure there is no slippage and that it stays in place. Fixed ladders are used for frequently accessed elevated areas, so if it's someplace that is consistently being accessed up above, they'll usually mount an actual ladder there. They require a visual inspection before climbing, just like any other ladder does. If the ladder is higher than 20 feet, it must be equipped with fall protection cages, as you see there, or other devices like a harness, any other type of fall protection. And there must be rest platforms every 30 feet as well. All right. So that does it for our, actual topic. I have a kudos for Seb, nominated by Val Corson. I read it. I don't have the letter here. It's on my desk. But essentially, Seb saw a leak from a trailer out in the yard, came in to find some stuff to clean it up, even though it wasn't from his trailer. So kudos to you for cleaning that up, even though it wasn't your deal to do. We appreciate that. Some ops notes. Make sure you guys are, again, reading your emails. Austin sent out another email on COVID, again, pretty much saying, if you have anything to throw in, Austin, if you're in the building, you need to make sure that you are wearing a mask. Stick to your respective areas. If you're shop, stay in the shop. If you're office personnel, stay in your offices. Again, like I mentioned in the beginning of the meeting, safety meetings are going to remote only. So again, make sure you're getting those live submitted by 7 p.m. so you can get that timestamp on there. Anything else to throw in, Austin? All right. Side note on emails from me as well. I just, 15 minutes ago, sent out all of your missed safety meetings for the year. Read the email. It'll pretty much answer your questions. I forgot to throw in the safety focus phrase for those of you online. Aha. No one even said anything about it. I'm so proud of you guys. It is flex capacitor isn't flexing. That's all. So again, read your emails. If you have any questions about those safety meetings, reach out to me and we'll get any of those cleared away. Jason sent some ops notes. Make sure you guys, again, are cleaning your trucks and doing your pre-post trip inspections. Don't get complacent on those types of things. Keep up on them. Our scores for all those, those things that we find and get taken care of before they become problems. Those CSA scores are looking really good and continue to drop, so make sure we're not getting complacent with those and slacking. And clean your tank tops and the Getty boxes. These are just a few pictures of kind of the messes we've come across this last week or so. So make sure you're taking care of your work areas, whether that be your trucks or your feed pouches, Getty boxes, anything like that. And that is all I have. Do you have anything else?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think Kim would like to remind you guys to get signed into Paycor. Everyone is getting paid out of there this Friday. So, if you're not set up in Paycor, you won't get paid probably. And Chris, it's a joke. It was a response in an email, the flux capacitor. Yes, I was just quoting the email. It was really funny. And I think that's all. So let's have a safe week, and we will see you next Tuesday.